Okay, we're on to chapter 2, which is correlation, and it's directly linked to chapter 1, which was on linear regression here. Now, as I've said at the bottom, some of this content actually appears in AS statistics and in A2 statistics, just from the normal maths A level, and we explore it more deeply here in further stats too. So if you're coming at it from having studied these things, this will be very, very easy. If not, there's a couple of places where I say, oh, this is where you look at it in normal maths, and I might direct you to kind of look at some of those videos so that I'm not repeating myself too much. So what we want to do in this chapter is we want to actually quantify how well correlated two linked variables are. Linked variables, we call them bivariate data because there are two things that are varying and they're linked to each other fundamentally. That's what kind of correlation is all about, where you're trying to measure the relationship between two variables. And our correlation coefficients, the thing that is going to measure how well correlated something is going to be, it's going to vary between -1 and +1, so that a value of -1 or -1 corresponds to perfect negative correlation, and obviously a +1 corresponds to perfect positive correlation. And a value of 0 corresponds to no correlation at all. And we're talking most of this time about linear correlation, and we'll have a look at something called Spearman's rank, which allows us to look at other kinds of things as well. And so all of these different representations down here are kind of different representations of what the correlation might look like. So we'll ignore these ones at the bottom for now. But in this top part that we've got here, a correlation of 1 is there like in a perfect line like this. Then 0.8 is still positive correlation, but it's a bit more kind of cloudy. They're scattered around a bit more. 0.4 even more scattered. 0 correlation here. They're just kind of like scattered all over the place. And then you can see, I always kind of see them like a swarm of bees. They're kind of becoming more negative correlation here until you have perfect negative correlation and they're in an exact line. Now, I'm just going to read through the sentence that I wrote above here. I've said, know that the strength of correlation is a measure of how closely the data falls into a straight line with either positive or negative correlation. It doesn't indicate how steep the line is. B, from chapter 1, does that. That's the main thing that you need to learn from this, right? What I mean by that is these three things here, these have all got a correlation of 1. It doesn't matter. The correlation coefficient isn't telling us about how steep the line is. That is all told by B. So the correlation coefficient is how closely they are to a line. So this one has a correlation of 1. This one has a correlation of -1 because it's got a slight negative value there. So just be careful. The correlation coefficient we're going to be looking at in these videos will not tell us about the steepness. That is to do with B, which we calculated in the first chapter. And I included these just because, rather interestingly, all of these things here would come out with a correlation coefficient of 0, but clearly there is some kind of pattern that is going on here. So it really is only good for testing these sorts of linear senses of correlation that we have. If there was some other pattern going on, another underlying pattern, then we might need to measure it in a different kind of way, because these all have 0, implying there's no correlation, but clearly there's some kind of pattern that is going on with these. Obviously, we're not going to look at this at all. We'll just be concentrating on these top 2 rows of things here. And this one, I'm not actually sure what the correlation would be of this. So if anybody finds out what that is, I would love to know. I imagine, I don't know. We can do a bit of a test to see what that would be. But look at this. These are all correlation of 1. These are all correlation of -1. It's the strength of correlation, not about how steep the line is. So the first chapter is the stuff that's in normal A-level maths. It's in the year 2 stats, which is all the product moment correlation coefficient. The second exercise is Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. And then we do some hypothesis testing, which is also in normal maths A-level. So should feel kind of easy, that third exercise, if you've done that bit. And of course, as always, we will finish off with some exam questions. So let's just say a little bit more about these two correlation coefficients. A correlation coefficient meaning a number that describes the correlation. The product moment correlation coefficient, that is the part that I'm describing here, the product moment correlation coefficient. It was designed to measure the correlation for continuous data that comes from a normal distribution. On the other hand, Spearman's rank is a special case of the PMCC, where the data are converted to rankings before calculating the coefficient. So you should use the PMCC, which we represent with the letter R, if the data is continuous and if it's taken from 2 normal distributions. Because remember, it's bivariate data. You're measuring kind of 2 things for their correlation. That's why it's going to be from 2 normal distributions. And you should also use it if the correlation is linear. So if we're expecting it to be a linear correlation. Spearman's rank, on the other hand, which is shown with the letter R with a small s next to it, This should be used if one or both of the data sets represent a ranking, which is things in order and they've not been measured on a continuous scale. So PMCC is for continuous. Spearman's rank, unsurprisingly with the word rank, is if either or both of the datas represent a ranking. And you'll see that as we come across all of this stuff in the chapter. As we said, this one is for if it's taken from a normal distributions. If one or both of the data sets is not from a normal distribution, we should adapt and use Spearman's rank. And if we think the correlation is nonlinear, we should also use Spearman's rank. And then the final one, which we don't use tons of this, but if we wanted an easier calculation for an approximation of the PMCC, we can also use Spearman's rank as well, because it can be a quicker calculation than what you normally need to do for PMCC. But it's really these ones at the top that are the most common. So when you do Spearman's rank, all the data is converted to rankings, meaning that they are assigned a number 1, 2, 3 according to their preference or position. So you'd take all of the information, you'd put them in order, and then the one that's either the biggest or the smallest gets assigned a 1, then the next biggest or next smallest gets a 2, etc., etc. And what we've done there is we've changed it from being like almost the raw continuous data to a ranking. And as I've said here, you can give the highest or the lowest number to position 1, as long as you are consistent for the question. So that's a bit of a summary about what's going to be going on in this chapter on correlation. We're going to start off in the next video looking at the product moment correlation coefficient, and then after that we'll be looking at Spearman's rank. So I will see you in the next video.